and welcome back to my channel for another video. So today's video is going to be quick and to the point. I am going to walk you guys through applying false lashes. There are some tips and tricks that I've picked up over the years that I always like to tell clients when they're first purchasing lashes, or if they want to reuse the ones that I am putting on them for, say, their wedding day or whatever. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about why I like certain lashes and why I dislike others. In general, your lashes are always going to come down to your personal preference. And you need to consider when purchasing them what your overall desired look is. So are you wearing lashes because you feel like you don't have any and you want something nice and natural and just a little bit of lift to the eye? Or are you trying to bat your eyes and have people go flying? In general, I just really like the Ardell lashes, which you can find in some grocery stores and their beauty aisle. You can find them in CVS. You can also find it in Ulta. I think that the most natural or kind of a little bit of a whoop ones that you could find are probably going to be the Demi Wispies. For those of you who prefer something a little bit more dramatic, the Ardell line also has their faux mink line, and I've been really into those. I bought the variety pack and I already went through them, otherwise I would apply them. The only ones that I have here that are fresh that I haven't used yet are actually these from Morphe, and these are the Malibu ones. So Morphe has two different kinds of lashes. They have just their original lash line, and then they also have the Morphe Premium, which we are always sold out of, which is sad because I love them. I love them. They are also a faux mink high quality synthetic, so they don't have a super plasticky sheen on them, which is something that if you are picking out lashes, I always recommend kind of checking that out. You'll know if you pick up a pair of lashes and you tilt it towards the light, if it has a really harsh reflective line across the top. Those are more, I try to steer clear of any that have that super shine on them because they just look fake. What I do really like about the original from Morphe, and what you should look for, in my opinion, when you are starting out with lashes in particular, is for the band, which is this very top part. All of your hairs come to a fine little knot. They are knotted around a band, which is the thin line goes from here to here. You will notice that some lashes have an incredibly thick band, and while a lot of people like that look because when you go to apply those lashes, it also kind of adds a little bit of eyeliner for you, and it's got that nice thick dark lash line. I personally prefer a much thinner band because I like to wear them sometimes with no eyeliner at all. I just like a little bit of a whoop on my lids, and I just find it harder to apply. The thicker the band, the harder you have to work to make it more malleable so that it can fit to your eye shape. I always apply my mascara before I go to do my lashes. Usually if it is a one-time use and I know that I'm not going to be putting the lashes back on, which for me actually seldomly happens at all because I love to reuse my lashes, I will not put mascara on the lash themselves. It just improves their life. If I'm working on a bride or someone who's getting their makeup done just for a special occasion, I will still apply mascara first, then I will pop on their lashes, and then I will go in separately with either another coat, or I'll just take my fingers and kind of pinch the natural lash and the synthetic lash together. And even with a band as thin as this, I still get at least 10 uses out of these. So after I have my mascara on, and then I always take my lashes off of their little band. And by the way, I like to keep this if you don't have a separate case or whatever to store your lashes when you're done, because it's nice and curved here. It's going to help your lashes maintain their bendy integrity. You can do all of this with your finger, but for the sake of today, for you guys to be able to see a little bit better, instead of me having my nubs in there, I'm going to be using tweezers. The first thing that you need to do when you get your lashes before you try to apply them is fit them to your eye. So a lot of times lashes are made extra long just so they can fit a variety of eyelids. I have pretty large eyes, and I like my lashes to go pretty far here into the inner corner, so Most of the time, I'm very fortunate to not really have to trim them, but I kind of want to show you guys what I'm talking about just in case you need to trim yours. Nice and close and personal. Another thing I will mention is that usually lashes, when they are here in your case, are tapered a little bit on the inner corner. To get a more natural look, the inner corner needs to stay on the inner corner and be a little bit shorter. And then I personally love the style that has them get like thicker or heavier out towards the end, closer to like a cat eye. You don't have to pick out a lash that has that shape, but regardless of which lashes you choose, like style wise, they should taper out a little bit here in the middle. I think that that's the most natural. And I am going to look down. I need a separate mirror. I'm looking down and I am just going to place, even though my fan is really giving me a hard time, I'm going to place those lashes along my lash line to just see what the fit is. I like to have my lashes come almost all the way in here to this inner corner. And what you want to be looking for when you try to like fit your lashes is how far out they go right here on the inner corner. So the natural outer corner of my lid comes to a taper right here. These lashes go ever so slightly past that. So I am going to trim them just a hair. A hair, get it? This is a lash. Cut. That way I have a reference when I go to do the other side and I'm not just like guessing. So for this, we're gonna cut off this very teeny like outer like feathery fluff. Ta-da! We're a little bit shorter now. Also, I don't know what I touched. Okay, I'm a disaster. I'm also going to individually measure the other side, and I always do this with clients as well because you never know if someone has uneven eyeballs. Like you. And by like you, I mean like me. My eyeballs are not even. And now that your lashes are nice and cut, you just need to actually glue them to your face. Alrighty, so when it comes to the glue, you can use whatever glue floats your boat. There are so many different brands and then a few different like kinds. I personally always prefer something with a brush tip just because I think that I personally always prefer something, and please ignore how gross this is. I left it open and it made a mess, but the glue on the inside is still good, okay? I left it open and sideways. I find a brush tip the easiest as opposed to trying to like squirt glue out, because most people, they just try to squirt it directly onto their lash line, and that is the surest way
to accidentally glue your eyeball shut because you've applied too much glue.
I think that a brush tip is super, super useful, and I cannot recommend it enough regardless of the brand that you choose to use. House of Lashes I use because I am a crier. And it is cry proof. And also I like to glue things to my face like gemstones and whatever, what have you. And so this glue in general does not fail me. So a lot of people, when they go to apply their lashes, they will actually flip it down like this. Hold on. How do I show this? They will flip it down and then apply their glue from the top, like an airplane, like across the top. I don't like to do that. I think that the surest way to make sure that it sits really well onto your natural lash line without looking super crazy is to actually hold it straight up and down. I prefer that. So like this, because you don't want the glue to be on like the bottom portion of this lid. You want it to be up here at the top so that when you go to apply, they sit up and out. As opposed to, does that make sense? I hope the sound effects help. I'm really careful not to oversaturate this. I do make sure that the outer and inner corners get an extra little bit of a flick, just because the outer and inner corners of your lashes are the most likely to peel up. So you can see I've got a beautiful thin line right there. So you also want to go ahead and let your glue dry a little bit. You can blow on your own lashes, but if you are ever applying lashes to someone else, don't you dare. That is nasty, especially in the world of Rona, which is now. So I am going to first look downwards, and I am going to stick the inner corner and then, and drag it in just a hair. Make sure that that placement is exactly what I want before closing my eye back up. I hope this is on camera. I'll be so disappointed if not. And then after your inner corner is secure, I like to follow the natural curvature of my eye with the rest of the band. Pinch my natural lash into my false lash just to make sure that it is as seamless as possible. Something I did forget to mention, because the band of these are so thin and so I don't have any hard times with it whatsoever, if you do prefer a band that is much thicker and you want to make sure that it is like nicely fitted to your eye and that it has like a decent curvature to it, one thing that you can do is kind of bend it like so. Especially once you get it out of the package, just to make sure that it's like nice and malleable and will fit your individual eye as you go to apply. So like I mentioned earlier, I am someone who likes to wear lashes with no eyeliner at all. I don't mind the look of it in any way, shape, or form. But if you feel like your natural lash line is not blended in to your false lashes enough, then one thing that you can do after your glue dries is add a little bit of eyeliner right here on top, just to make sure that the glue is as deep and dark or seamless into your eyeliner as you would like. I personally always choose a glue that dries clear, but you can choose glues that dry black. I was gonna list other options, but I don't think there are any. In order to kind of blend these together, the glue's not 110% dry, but that's fine. I'm gonna be taking a pencil. You can take a liquid. I do find liquid easier, but I don't know where my liquid brown liner is, and brown is what I want for today's pumpkin spice kind of look. If you like this look so far, I will actually have that video up soon. So, or maybe even before this one, who knows. So I'm gonna run this liquid liner right across the band. I have to pull down my lashes to do so. One other thing I will say about, and so a couple more things. Your lashes may feel heavy at first until the glue is 110% dry. I like to tell people, especially if they've never worn lashes before, is like, this will feel heavy when you first open your eyes because you have just glued something to it. But your eyes do adjust, the glue dries down, and then good lashes shouldn't feel all that heavy. I will also say though that the longer you wear lashes, the heavier they do start to get, especially if you're someone like me who loves the wham bam thank you ma'am kind of lashes. After hour 6 or so, I'm like, oh my god, I'm like working out over here. When it comes to removing your lashes and proper care, so I never ever suggest just ripping them off. I know that it is so satiating. It's like ripping off your bra at the end of the day, or I guess the 2020 equivalent of ripping off your mask when you finally get to your car. You know what I mean? But for longevity of your lashes and proper care, I do recommend taking a Q-tip or a cotton ball with some makeup remover and running that along your lash line just to kind of like break up the glue a little bit and then gently peeling them off. I also like to go ahead and remove any like build up of glue, which will also carry some of your liner with it as well. And then I like to place mine right back here against this pretty little curvature so that they keep their shape as they dry. If you're someone who has multiple pairs of lashes, or you just want something a little bit more like aesthetically pleasing to store your skins, or something easier to keep up with than what looks kind of a little bit like trash, then I suggest a lash box. This one is the one from Morphe. I picked it up from work. It had a gem in it, apparently. So I've really been enjoying this, but honestly, this is enough I really enjoy this, but this is not enough storage for me, so I'm gonna need to get on that. Like I said, you can get so many uses out of each of your lashes, and I like to use them until they are dead because I paid for them, you know? So I'm gonna use them. All right, you guys, so that is going to be it for today's eyelash tutorial. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and that you found it useful. Drop your feedback down below if you heard something today that you've never heard before that you found particularly useful, or if you have any like follow-up questions, please ask me in the comments below. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a very fun, safe, healthy day. Bye.